Okay, we're going to head into this next exercise, which is called making a simple shape tween. Before we head into this, I want to sort of introduce why this is different. In the previous exercise, which is making a simple motion tween, we sort of create a graphic over here in the library, and we sort of animate that on the timeline. It's kind of two separate things. What we're going to do here is a little bit different. We're going to animate directly on the stage. What this allows for is sort of seeing the vector nature and the math that I kind of mentioned in the Animate Basics video that lets us sort of, in this case, kind of morph one shape into another. This might be a technique that you take advantage of later in some projects. And again, I'm introducing some basic ideas here in this first week, hoping and knowing and requiring that you sort of demonstrate these skills as we move into the projects. So you'll see the step-by-step is a little bit shorter here, and I'm going to likely get through this in one video here. So I'll follow along as I did in the motion tween video. So it says open animate. When animate opens, create the action skip 3.0. I've already done that. It says choose the oval tool in the toolbox. We've already worked with the oval tool when we were working with the motion tween. And it says click and draw and hold a circle on the actual stage. Okay. What we're going to do is basically animate one thing to another. Okay. And what I want to do is sort of make sure that these are different colors to sort of note how this is sort of morphing. So it says step 5 again, click, hold, and draw a circle on the actual stage. You can make sure you hold a perfect circle by holding down the shift. Okay, so I'm going to draw this. Okay. Next, it says this will create a keyframe in frame 1 of layer 1. Okay, so it's sort of noting, and if you remember back to the motion tween, I sort of say, it's sort of indicating that at this point, this is the sort of definition of that keyframe. A keyframe is sort of stating that we have something particular happening in a particular spot in time. Okay. Step 7, it says move up to frame 60 in a timeline and click on that frame. Okay. Next, it says choose insert timeline blank keyframe. This is a little bit different. So I'm going to do insert timeline blank keyframe. Okay. Up to this point, up to this frame 60, it's basically keeping that what we've defined in that first frame. It said, okay, you want that red circle everywhere up until frame 60. In frame 60, we inserted a keyframe, and we're going to state something else. We're going to define this frame as something else. And we want this blank at this point. We don't want to bring along that red ball because we want to define this as something else in that frame. Okay. So step 9 says, while on that blank keyframe, choose the rectangle tool. You can probably hopefully see where this is going. And it says, draw a rectangle of a different color on that frame. So first and foremost, I'm going to go over here and let's just choose green. And I'm going to draw a rectangle. Okay. So before we do the next steps, I just want to redefine this. We have two different shapes. And the red one sort of takes up 59 of those frames. And then on this last one, where we inserted a blank keyframe, I sort of inserted this rectangle of a different color. Okay. Now, just like in the motion tween, in a similar step, but we're going to have a slightly different result. It says choose any frame between frame 1 and frame 60 and click on that frame. So I'm just going to click anywhere in the middle. And then it says choose insert shape tween. So I'm going to insert a shape tween. Watch what happens in the timeline. I get this green color, and I get this sort of long arrow. Okay. If you start to pull the playhead back and forth, you're going to see it morph both in color and in shape from one to the other. Okay. This is a shape tween. You'll note that nothing is going on over here in my library. This is a little bit different. I drew it directly on the stage, and I made it happen directly on the stage. We're going to choose File, Save As. Just as we did last time, we'll practice this. I'm going to call this David Luke _ shape tween. Remember, I don't type in FLA. I just sort of keep this as FLA. I'm going to hit save. And it says step 16, choose control test movie. And we've already seen that this is likely going to work, but here I get my SWIF and I get the sort of result of this shape tween. Just as before, and we'll sort of take a look at my little folder. Here's my 2 exercises. There's my motion tween, which we hopefully already did. And here's my shape tween, and here's my shape tween SWIF. I will say it one last time. You are giving me the shape tween and the motion tween .SWIF, not .FLA. Okay? So this is a much kind of a simpler, or I guess different version of a tween. You can change color, you can change shape. Later we're going to have text kind of morph from one word to another. But hopefully this is sort of piquing or tickling your interest in this program, and as we sort of move through these exercises in the first few weeks, will allow for the setting up for projects. Remember, if you read the syllabus, you'll note that we have these exercises, which we got to do a lot of here at the beginning. And once we get through a good amount of those, we're going to deal with making some projects. And these are going to be short films that have a narrative, and you guys are sort of going to come up with what these things are about. So any questions, email me. Please look at the week 2 file. If you remember on your syllabus, that week, every week you're going to get week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. That's going to have an actions list in it of the things you need to get done. Most of the SWIF files, exercises, projects need to go into the D2L. I believe it's called assignments now. It used to be called drop boxes, but I will set those up. They will have due dates on them. They will mirror the due dates that are listed in the actions of the week file. That's about it. Email me with any questions. Next week, there will be a whole other set of exercises. We might get into some animation viewings next week as well. Before we head out, let's just quickly, since we haven't looked at one of these before, this is what your weekly files will look like. This is what this week looks like. Again, I'm just sort of pointing out the actions. You're going to watch the Animate Basics. You're going to watch the video links. And you're going to tell everyone what your truth and lie was. In the actions, I will give the due dates. These due dates will be the same as your assignment drop boxes. I don't have any set up just yet, but I will here in a minute. Again, email me with any questions, and we will have all new stuff next week.